Many people assume that Sword World RPG was the first domestically produced fantasy TTRPG in Japan. However, in reality, it stood on the shoulders of games that came before. These games are often overlooked in the shadow of Sword World's success. Today we will look at one such title, in fact, the very first. In 1984, a groundbreaking game emerged from Japan that would change the landscape of tabletop gaming forever. This is the story of The Roads to the Lord, Japan's first domestically produced fantasy tabletop role-playing game. Introduction. Designed by Naoto Katakura and published by Tsukuda Hobby, The Roads to the Lord introduced Japanese players to the rich fantasy world of Jerusalem, often translated in Western languages as Jerusalem. Although the game is out of print, it maintained a devoted following and spawned several expansions, the Ramses Nahan expansion kit and Stradium, along with a tie-in game based on Kaoru Kurimoto's Green Saga series. But what made this game so special, and why does it still have a dedicated fan base decades later? Let's take a look. The world of Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a parallel Earth, specifically focusing on the northern hemispheres of the Jerusalem continent. The world contains 4 major nations: Stradium, Indaldium, Pharazon, and Dura, along with numerous smaller countries. The game's timeline begins with the founding of the ancient Pharaoh Kingdom as Year 1. By the game's present day, it's the 1790s, a world with nearly 2 millennia of detailed history. The military nation of Stradium. Let's zoom in on one nation in detail, Stradium, a military powerhouse in southwestern Jerusalem. Stradium's history stretches back to ancient Pharaoh itself, which established a defensive base against the Duranos fleet from across the western seas. After centuries of internal strife and a devastating 150-year war with Dura and Hainau, Stradium fell in 1500. In 1589, the hero known as the Black General Blaf was defeated by descendants of the legendary warrior Gund, leading to Stradium's eventual restoration in 1700. Modern Stradium is a prosperous nation in a temperate region, rich in agriculture and fishing. What sets it apart is its unique political system, a hereditary monarchy supported by a bureaucracy based on merit rather than bloodline. Noble titles are normally granted for only a single lifetime, and a parliamentary government advises the king through a senate of nobles and knights. Character creation. What made The Roads to the Lord stand out wasn't just its world, it was how players became part of it. Unlike TTRPGs which let you choose the particulars of your character, this game had you roll percentile dice to randomly determine both your race and social class. You might become a human noble, a knight, or a gypsy, perhaps an elf, sylph, gnome, or other fairy folk, maybe a dwarf from the mountain kingdoms, or a cunning halfling, or even a rare shape changer who could transform into wolf, tiger, bear, or serpent form. The combat system. Combat took place on hexagonal battle boards with detailed tactical options. Players could move, engage in melee, attempt grappling, charge with spears for double damage, shoot ranged weapons, or attempt to disengage from combat. Uniquely, there were no hit points. Instead, damage directly reduced your ability scores: strength, dexterity, metal power, and charisma. You also had to distribute damage across at least 2 different abilities, creating interesting tactical decisions. While the detailed combat rules showed influence from Western games like Steve Jackson's The Fantasy Trip, many groups eventually adopted simplified combat rules to keep the focus on the world and story. The magic system. Perhaps the game's most unique feature was its approach to magic. Spells were represented by physical cards that you'd receive during adventures. But here's the twist. You wouldn't know what spell you'd learned at first. Only after attempting to use it would its true nature be revealed. Magic was divided into 7 types: white magic from the celestial realm, black magic from the demon world, elemental magics of water, fire, air, and earth, plus mind magic drawn from mental power. Each had its own flavor and tactical applications. From white magic's healing and protection to black magic's darkness and summoned undead, to spectacular effects like firestorm and tornado spin, The magic system emphasized the mysterious, unknowable nature of arcane power. The real roll system. For actions outside combat, the game pioneered the real roll system, adding 2d6 to a relevant ability score and comparing it to a difficulty number set by the game master. For its time, having a formalized system for non-combat actions was remarkably forward-thinking. Cultural impact and playstyles. The game's rich background world led to diverse playstyles. Some groups stayed faithful to Jerusalem's lore. Others transformed it into power gaming experiences with enhanced magic and items. Still others used it as a springboard to create entirely original worlds. Many campaigns that began with the Roads to the Lord continued for years, evolving into almost entirely original games. The minimal core rules combined with evocative world building gave players room to make the game their own, and many discovered their passion for storytelling through its included scenarios. Conclusion. As Japan's first domestic fantasy RPG, The Roads to the Lord holds a special place in gaming history. Its influence can be seen in how it balanced minimal rules with maximum imagination, how it valued world building and story over pure mechanics, and how it trusted players to make the game their own. Though out of print, The Roads Through Jerusalem remain open in the memories and ongoing campaigns of devoted fans. It had multiple supplements and 4 editions from 1984 up to 2010. It proved that Japanese designers could create compelling fantasy worlds and open the road for countless TTRPGs to follow.